See, good morning to everyone. I'm today with Hindu newspaper. Uh, a very important news in page number 9, playing to the gallery. It is a very important news, but the news is very difficult to understand. Okay, the news actually keeps light on the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice. Okay, International Court of Justice. The article tries to interpret what are the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice. It is very extremely difficult to understand. The thing is that one is voluntary jurisdiction and another is compulsory jurisdiction. Voluntary jurisdiction means what happened actually here the parties actually refers any case to the International Court of Justice. The parties refers any case to the International Court of Justice through a special agreement. Okay, it is called voluntary agreement. It is called voluntary agreement. Okay, then another is their compulsory agreement. Okay, in compulsory agreement what happened? In compulsory agreement, the agreement is such kind of agreement that here if you want to refer, if a country want to refer any case to the International Court of Justice, then the country has to be the country has to give come under any treaty. Okay, throughout which International Court of Justice can begin each procedure. Okay, for example, I am giving an example. From the technical point of view, the example is not correct, but for the sake of understanding, I am giving an example. Okay. For example, India wants to file a case in International Criminal Court against any country regarding water. Okay, but there is no special the case is such kind of a case, it cannot be voluntarily filed. Means there is no existing clauses in the International Criminal Court under which the case can be directly filed, or International Criminal Court can directly hear the case. Okay, to file the case, to begin the procedure, at first India has to come under a treaty or come under a part of the India has to first sign a treaty. Okay, after signing the treaty, International Criminal Court of Justice can begin hearing process. Okay, means to file a case, a country has to at first give his consent to a treaty throughout which the International Criminal Court can hear the cases. Okay, it is called compulsory jurisdiction. Okay, one is voluntary jurisdiction under within the purview of criminal court, and another is compulsory jurisdiction. Okay, and here actually why it is compulsory? Here the country actually accepts the treaty. Okay, compulsorily. Okay, the obligations under the treaty, the country who is a country has signed, she accepts those clauses of the treaty compulsorily. Okay. Now Pakistan filed a case against India in 1980 around the Kargil war. Okay, after the Kargil war. I forgot to tell, this article mentions about the case Sword of Kalia, the captain who was tortured to death around the Kargil war by Pakistan. Okay, then after that, to revenge, India also shoot down a aircraft Atlantica. Okay, who is belong to Pakistan. After that, Pakistan filed cases in International Criminal Court. Okay, then India actually brought out after that, India actually evoked a clause. Okay, when Pakistan I already told in my previous analysis that Pakistan filed a case in International Criminal Court, but India wanted to escape from the case. Okay, India wanted to escape from the case by evoking a particular clause. The particular clause actually mentions that any party or any country who is a member of Commonwealth, they are actually out of the purview of the jurisdiction of the court. Okay, when Pakistan files cases in ICJ against India, by India, what did India what India did? India, by evoking this clause that India is a member of Commonwealth, that way jurisdiction of ICC is not applicable to India. Okay, evoking this clause, India actually give a blanket to the case. Okay, gave a blanket to the case. Okay, from what point of view this article is important? The article is important. You might face question in exam. Okay, because it is a current news and UPSC always asks questions behind the incident. Okay, what are the jurisdictions of International Criminal Court? One is voluntary jurisdiction, where what happened, where countries actually file cases actually, and this kind of files cases are already mentioned, about these cases are already mentioned in the provisions of International Criminal Court. Okay, and another is compulsory jurisdiction. Here in compulsory jurisdiction, what happens? Like the first voluntary agreement, the cases are already not mentioned any provision. A country has to compulsorily enter into agreement. Okay, has to sign an agreement. After that, International Criminal Court can hear the cases. Okay, this kind of question you might face, and be ready and prepare notes on it. Okay. Another important news is labor law set for big overhaul. Government is at last going to reform labor law. Okay, as per the new labor law, a factory employing fewer than 300 workers will be allowed to lay off workers without government permissions. That means a factory where there are less than 300 workers, then the authority has not to take permission of the government. Okay, the company has not to take permission from the government for laying off, for shutting down the factory. Okay, but the thing is that government has also made a provision that before shutting down the factory, the authority, the company has to compensate all the laborers. Why labor law reform is important? Because most of the economists and even WTO also think that the labor law in India is so much strict that it actually brings a kind of it actually brings a kind of hindrances. It actually brings a kind of hurdle in inviting foreign business to India. Not only foreign business, actually in growing, it actually is a kind of obstacle to the growth of economy. Okay, to the growth of entrepreneurship. Okay, growth of industrial sector, because too much restriction regarding labor law, too much strike of the laborers actually hinders the growth, prohibits the growth of economy and industry. And new labor law also tries to curtail the right of strike to some extent. Okay, but the thing is that you must have to be balanced in writing answer. You cannot praise totally that it will be able to cope up with the it will be able to fulfill the dream of Make in India project. Okay, what happened? Make in India is what happened, all the things are indigenously manufactured in India. Okay, for that India has to be grown in manufacturing sector. Okay, industrial growth, economic growth has to be developed in India. Okay, but due to the restrictions of labor, generally industrial does not come to open company. Okay, so strict labor law. Okay, now it will usher in a new era of opening new industry in India. Okay, who will realize the dream of Make in India. Okay, but the thing is that public safety. Okay, India is a government democratic country. Okay, here safety, here the social what happened, the welfare of the labor. Okay, right of the labor. Okay, there are also people, they have also right. Okay, maintaining the minimum wages is much more important. Okay, in no way government should be careful that in no way the minimum wage is deprived of the laborers. Okay, in no way the laborers should be deprived of minimum wages. Their right as their economic right. Okay, their political right. Okay, this should not be curtailed at any rate. Okay, the right there should be a balance. Okay, but there should be a balance. This law should be very balanced. Okay, it should not restrict the right of the labor, and it also should not give them much more power, okay, so that it is harmful to industrial growth. Okay, the right of the right of maternity leave, okay, the right of women, okay, all these things, okay, a women forum within industrial sector, okay, for women dispute forum, okay, for hearing any women related cases, okay, except otherwise public safety, there are other rights, okay, these rights have not to be curtailed at any rate. While writing answer, you should be very balanced, that there should be a balance between the economic growth and the democratic right of the people, okay, the laws should maintain this balance. Okay, you should mention these things actually. Okay, in my viewpoint, these two news are much more important, and there are much more news, but these news are reiteration, okay, which I have already discussed sooner or later. Okay, I think the most important news is the first news, okay, International Court of Justice, its jurisdiction. Okay, till then again I will come tomorrow with another Hindu analysis. Till then, take care, bye bye. Okay.